The day before the engagement, my boyfriend accompanied his first love, Vivian, to meet her parents. When he saw me, his eyes were filled with panic. But he quickly calmed down and questioned me. "What are you doing here?" I sneered. "Just passing by." "You two keep talking." Vivian's mother smiled and asked, "William, who is this?" "A friend." Coming out of the coffee shop, I walked aimlessly on the street. William didn't chase after me, and he didn't even send a text message to explain. Until the sky turned overcast and the rumbling thunder brought me back to reality, I directly took a taxi home. I smiled bitterly. Tomorrow was supposed to be our engagement day. William, however, took his first love, Vivian, to meet her parents. It turned out that he really couldn't let go of his first love. When I got home, I threw myself onto the bed and buried my face in the pillow. On the bedside table was the engagement ring for tomorrow, inlaid with a small diamond. I preferred diamond rings, but William said that diamond rings didn't hold their value well and asked me to buy a gold ring instead. Now William had taken the initiative to buy a diamond ring, and the word love was engraved inside the ring. I couldn't cry. In my mind, there was an image of William hugging Vivian and giving me a mocking look. Vivian was William's childhood sweetheart and also his first love. I had quarreled with William many times because of Vivian's existence. William always said that they grew up together since childhood, just like siblings, and that I was overthinking. "If there was anything between me and Vivian, what would be your business?" He said this every time, and I increasingly felt like I was just Vivian's backup. During the most intense quarrel, William called me dirty-minded and asked how there couldn't be pure friendship between a man and a woman. He slammed the door and left, and we had a cold war for over a month. But this time, I didn't want to quarrel anymore. I already knew my place and wouldn't have any illusions anymore. Lying on the bed, I couldn't fall asleep. So I went to the balcony and took a few bottles of beer from the refrigerator. I didn't turn on the lights. On the balcony, I drank cup after cup of cold beer by the light from the residential community. I don't know how much time had passed. The children playing downstairs in the community had already gone home, and there wasn't a single soul in sight. Occasionally, 2 or 3 stray cats would rummage through the trash cans for food. Then William came back. But I heard Vivian's voice first. "William, does your home look like a place where a woman lives? It's all messy, and why is there such a smell?" I sat beside the small table in front of the balcony, silent. Having been with William for so long, he never did any housework. Not to mention cleaning, I did all the household chores, including grocery shopping and cooking. As soon as William turned on the light, he realized I was on the balcony, and his tone was extremely cold. "What are you doing sitting in the dark at home? Trying to scare someone to death?" Vivian smiled at me and said, "Mem, I hope I'm not disturbing you too, am I?" Then she turned around and pretended to be angry as she looked at William. "Don't be so harsh on Emma. Be a little gentler too." Girls. William couldn't help but listen to her, and his eyes softened. "Mama, regarding what happened today, I'm afraid you might misunderstand, so I specifically asked Vivian to come here and explain it to you in person." Vivian smiled sweetly and stepped forward to hold my hand. "Yes, Emma. My parents are urging me to find a partner, and I wanted to fob them off. If I just randomly found a man, they would definitely be suspicious. William and I have grown up together since childhood, and they trust him, so I asked William to do me a favor." She batted her beautiful eyes and looked extremely innocent. "If I said something harsh to her, it would surely be my fault. Ma, you don't mind, do you?" "Nah, Vivian has sincerely explained it to you. Stop being angry and throwing a tantrum." Before I could say anything, William started to defend Vivian. So I shook off Vivian's hand and became instantly annoyed. "I'm not angry. I should even thank her for taking my boyfriend to meet her parents." Vivian's smile froze on her face, and William got angry instead. "We're childhood sweethearts." Vivian asked me for help. What's wrong with me, as her brother, helping her out? Brother? I think you want to be her boyfriend. You met her parents today, and the next step will be getting married. William was very impatient. Maybe because Vivian was there, he held back his anger. Don't think so, sordid lie. I've told you so many times that Vivian is just like my sister. Emma, don't be angry. It was all my idea. If you want to hit or scold someone, do it to me. Don't take it out on William. Was I sordid? Was I taking it out on others? Looking at the two of them playing off each other, my anger flared out. Seeing that I didn't say anything, William thought I had calmed down and even gently patted my shoulder. Quickly apologize to Vivian, and this matter will be over. I pushed William away and my eyes turned red. Apologize? Why should I apologize to a woman who has an unclear relationship with my boyfriend? She should be the one apologizing to me. William was furious. You're slandering a girl's innocence. Have some decency. I order you to apologize to Vivian. Vivian stood between us, acting like a peacemaker and soothing William. William, don't quarrel with Emma because of me. I'll feel really guilty. I'm sorry. The fragrance of tea filled the air, but cold water can't steep green tea. But William was so enthusiastic. Remembering how William had always defended Vivian over the years, my heart was completely broken. Can't you be more sensible? You even forced Vivian to apologize to you. Don't push people too far. I order you to apologize to Vivian now, or I'll break up with you. William pointed at my nose, extremely angry. If it had been before, I would definitely have swallowed my anger, apologized to Vivian, and been sad all by myself. But now, I didn't want to endure it anymore. Then let's break up. After saying that, I turned around and went back to my room. I heard Vivian's voice coming from outside the door. Her tone was full of grievances. William, don't be impulsive. You and Emma were doing fine. If you break up because of me, I'll be very sad. How can it be your fault? Don't think too much. She's just being petty. When he mentioned me, William almost gritted his teeth. Give her a night to calm down. She'll come crawling back to me asking for a reconciliation when she wakes up tomorrow morning. Let me take you home. After a while, I heard the sound of the door closing. My heart was completely calm, but I wouldn't be like what William said and beg for a reconciliation. If it had been me in college, I would have definitely done that. But as time passes, one can see a person's true nature. I've grown up. In college, William was the president of the student union. He was good-looking and had excellent grades. I was one of the many girls who had a crush on him and worked in the student union under his leadership. We got to know each other because of the student union. During a certain social gathering, William got drunk and threw up on me. I took care of him without any complaints. When William sobered up, he apologized to me and even bought a new dress for me as compensation. It was the first time I received a gift from William, and I was so happy that I lost my head. On an impulse, I confessed my love to him. Unexpectedly, William agreed, and he gently hugged me. At that moment, I thought I was the happiest person in the world. But now everything has changed. William would never give me the same smile as he did back then. After Vivian returned to the country, he never paid attention to me again. I took off the engagement ring from my finger and put it back in the box. Since I'd decided to say goodbye to the past, the things that bound me should also be returned. I left alone and went back home that very night. That night, I threw myself into my mother's arms and burst into tears. My mother gently patted my back to soothe me, just like she would comfort a baby. My father frowned and sent text messages and made phone calls one by one to inform everyone that the engagement banquet was cancelled. They didn't ask me anything and stood by my side unconditionally. I had a good sleep at home. Besides my best friend, no one sent me a message. She didn't ask me the reason either. She just told me that if I wasn't happy, she could come to me at any time. Before my best friend could come, I bought a plane ticket and flew to her city without hesitation. I stayed there for a week, and William didn't send me a single message. He must have thought I was just throwing a tantrum. We had cold wars before. In the past, I couldn't hold back and always took the initiative to make up. William must have thought I would foolishly apologize to him again. Then he could drag me in front of Vivian to show off and crush my dignity. This was the first time I didn't take the initiative to contact him, and I don't think I will in the future either. I had backed down and endured so many times in the past. Because I loved him deeply, every time we quarreled, I was the first to give in. He seemed to enjoy the feeling of having me at his mercy. My best friend had also advised me, saying that I was no different from a simp. I smiled stupidly and said that they didn't know how good William was to me, and that we were in a mutual relationship. Looking back now, I was really blind and foolish. I've had enough of having fun. As soon as I got off the plane, there were several missed calls and more than a dozen messages on my phone. All of them were from William. I ignored them. When I got home, I found that William had come to my place. As soon as he saw me, William lost his temper. He really regarded this place as his own home. "Ma, you haven't come back for so long. Do you still care about this home? Did you ask for my opinion when you canceled the engagement banquet? Do you know how embarrassing it was when the relatives came to my house?" The important thing was the latter sentence. I had embarrassed him. I sneered. "The engagement banquet, you let Vivian take my place. She should be more than happy to help." William's expression froze for a moment. He didn't expect me to say that. "Can't you stop being so unreasonable? Vivian and I are innocent." "I don't care, William. What happens between you and Vivian has nothing to do with me anymore." In these past few days, it wasn't that I hadn't hoped for William to call me. But he never did. Instead, Vivian updated her WeChat moments quite frequently. There were photos of them going to the bar together. Vivian was leaning halfway in William's arms, smiling happily. She was even afraid that I wouldn't recognize that person as William, so she deliberately showed the birthmark on William's left wrist. They had so much fun. Why couldn't I have fun too? But William seemed unable to understand and even got angry at me. "Emma, have I been too good to you, making you feel so bold? Your wild imagination all day long is affecting my relationship with Vivian. How can a girl be so dirty-minded? Ma, don't think that just because you're my girlfriend, you can insult Vivian. If you don't apologize, I'll break up with you." William kept saying Vivian's name, and it made me feel sick. I had a blank expression and said coldly, "I won't apologize. Let's break up." Perhaps he didn't expect my attitude to be so firm, and William was stunned. I opened the door and asked him to leave my house. "Wait, Emma. What do you mean? Can't you understand human language?" I said, "You and I, Emma and William, are breaking up." William's expression visibly turned panicked, and his arrogant demeanor just now disappeared instantly. "Nah, are you really angry?" William's somewhat flattering look made me feel a bit disgusted. Why hadn't I seen him like this before? "I've told you already. Vivian is like my sister. If she asks me for help and I don't go, wouldn't that be too unkind? You really are overthinking. Pretending to be a boyfriend is not the real thing. Can't you be more magnanimous?" "Am I not magnanimous? How much more magnanimous do I have to be? Ever since Vivian came back from abroad, you've put her first in everything. You even went to meet her parents with her the day before our engagement. Who exactly ruined the engagement banquet, and everyone knows it in their hearts." I finally couldn't hold it in and shouted at William. The sound startled my parents in the room. When they came out and saw William, their expressions changed too. "Get out. You're not welcome in our house." My father had a gloomy expression, and my mother gently patted my shoulder to soothe me. William's face turned pale instantly, and he stammered, looking at my parents in a flattering way. "Uncle and Aunt, what are you saying? And I are just having a little quarrel now. Ma, can I apologize to you? Let's turn the page on this matter, and we'll live well together in the future." I directly rolled my eyes. When I needed an apology the most, William was in the bar with Vivian. What's the use of an apology now? No need. Please leave my house. We've already broken up. William was completely dumbfounded. He didn't expect my attitude to be so firm. In the past it was always me begging for reconciliation, and he bestowed his forgiveness on me condescending. He always treated me like a pet he raised. He could just give me a cat teaser and I'd come back and beg him obediently. Now I'm not that domestic little kitten anymore. If a tiger doesn't show its power, do you really think I'm a sick cat? Uncle and Aunt are here. Stop making a scene. Let's go home and talk about it, okay? As he said that, William was about to come over and grab my hand, but my father stepped between us. William, you bullied my daughter first. Leave now. If you don't, I'll call the police. William's face changed instantly, and his eyes wandered between me and my parents. Uncle and Aunt, Mimo and I have a little conflict. You two elders should probably not get involved in the affairs of young people. I finally couldn't stand it anymore. There was no need to maintain good manners in front of such a shameless person. William, has some decency, a little conflict. How would you feel if I brought a man home to meet my parents? My family made all the arrangements for the engagement banquet. The day before, you went to accompany Vivian's parents. My father, who is 50 years old, had to swallow his pride and call one by one to cancel the engagement banquet. Did you ever think about my family? William was stunned. He stammered and couldn't say a complete sentence. After a long while, he seemed to remember an excuse and said in a hurry, You should have told me when you canceled the engagement banquet. We could have thought of a solution together. So it was all my fault. William would never reflect on himself. He would only shirk responsibility. You know, I'm really busy with work. I can't even remember exactly which day the engagement banquet was supposed to be. Busy with work? He was busy with work but could find time to accompany Vivian to meet her parents. He never took me seriously. He suppressed what I liked and liked what I hated. Vivian studied abroad for 4 years. On the day she came back, he was overjoyed and cooked a big table of delicious food at home to entertain Vivian. They were all dishes that Vivian liked. I had been with him for so long and he had never cooked for me before. He would satisfy what Vivian liked, but he would only suppress what I liked. Now I know that I was severely puaed by William. My father drove William out of the house. At my 20s, I couldn't always live at home and let my parents take care of me. After finding a new place to live, I went back to the original place to pack my clothes. I tried to insert the key, and surprisingly, he hadn't changed the lock. I sneered. I pushed the door open, and William was cleaning the house. He was both surprised and delighted when he saw me. You're back, Emma. The house had changed a lot and finally became the way I liked it. I like green plants. Now, the bare balcony was decorated with all kinds of green plants. I like fabric sofas, and William had replaced the original wooden sofa. Everything was just as I had imagined it to be, but William was different. When I said I wanted to decorate it this way before, William said that green plants attracted insects and were difficult to take care of. But during all these years of living together, I was the one who did all the housework. William didn't even lift a finger. It wasn't that he thought cleaning was troublesome. He just simply didn't like seeing me happy. Are you hungry? I'll cook for you now. I remember you like stir-fried beef with chili peppers, right? Did he think that I would still be touched by doing these things now? If it had been before, I really would have been moved to tears. William was cooking for me. What else could be a problem? But now my heart was as calm as still water, and I just wanted to pack my things and move. As soon as William put on the apron, his phone rang. What's wrong? Don't cry first, I'll come right away. He was in such a hurry. This call must have been from Vivian. William put down the spatula and seemed to be asking for my opinion. Vivian was hit by a car. I'd better go quickly. It would be bad if something happened to Vivian. William didn't expect me to agree so quickly. He took off the apron and hugged me. Emma, wait for me. I'll be back soon after dealing with this. We're going to have a candlelit dinner tonight. I frowned and watched William leave. When he hugged me, I not only felt heartache but also a bit disgusted. There were quite a lot of ingredients in the refrigerator, and they were all the things I like to eat. Braised eggplant, stir-fried beef with chili peppers, mapo tofu. They were all spicy dishes. I like spicy food, but because William said he didn't like it, I hadn't eaten spicy food for a long time. If only he could have cooked these dishes for me once before. He could actually cook. I still remember the 7 dishes and 1 soup he cooked when Vivian came back from abroad. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me. I would never get the things that William gave to me. But so what, now I don't care at all. I processed the ingredients by myself and cooked 4 dishes and 1 soup. This last meal can be regarded as our farewell dinner. After all these years, no matter what, it's better to part on good terms and leave some dignity for each other. But until the food got completely cold and was about to go bad, William still didn't come back. When it was dawn, I finally packed all my things. As soon as I opened the door, I saw William busy in the kitchen. The food from yesterday wasn't put in the refrigerator. It went bad, so I threw it away. Come and have breakfast. I stared blankly at all this, feeling as if I were in a different world. During the time we lived together, I had fantasized countless times about William making breakfast for me, but it was always me who did it. Even when I cooked it, he wouldn't eat it. He either said it tasted bad or that there was no new variety and he was tired of it. Until one day, he ran out without having breakfast. Soon after, I saw Vivian's WeChat moments. It was 2 cups of cappuccino with love patterns drawn on them, and there were also some small desserts on the table. Vivian was so afraid that I wouldn't know it was William who treated her that she deliberately exposed the wrist of the person opposite when taking the photo. Yeah, things that have gone bad should be thrown away. A relationship that has deteriorated should also be cut off in a timely manner. I didn't take a single bite of the breakfast. Calculating the time, my best friend Ava should be coming soon. When William opened the door, he looked puzzled but still greeted with a smile. Aren't you Ava? Here to play with Emma? Have you had breakfast? Come on in. He was so enthusiastic that he didn't seem like William at all. Since when did he think highly of my friends? Ava didn't pay attention to him either. She just nodded politely and looked at me. Honey, have you packed your things? The security guard won't let us stay long. Let's hurry up and go. Pack what? Where are you going, Emma? William looked at a loss. Seeing the 2 suitcases behind me, he became even more flustered. This isn't my home. I'm moving out. Goodbye. As I said that, I handed the suitcase to my best friend and pulled the other one myself. William grabbed my hand, his eyes full of confusion. Why are you moving out all of a sudden? Look, I even bought the succulents you like for you. William pointed at the balcony and even tried to pull me over to take a look. I shook off William's hand and asked my best friend to take the suitcase downstairs first. After my best friend left, William blocked my way. What on earth is going on? Why are you moving out all of a sudden? Are you still angry about what happened last time, or about last night? I really had no choice yesterday. Vivian was hit by an electric bike and she didn't even know how to register for a hospital visit. I couldn't just leave her alone in the hospital, could I? Besides, I already asked for your opinion. Didn't you agree to let me go there? William always has 800 excuses. He can't do anything about Vivian, but he just asks me to endure it. Can I endure it? I can't endure it at all. I've had enough. William, don't be ungrateful. I want to part on good terms. Do you really want to force me to scold you? I pushed him away. Just as I reached the entrance hall, William rushed over and blocked the door. If you want to separate for a while, I agree, but I won't allow you to break up. William's eyes were red. I had never seen him so out of control before. Would he really shed tears for me? But who cares now? Breaking up is my freedom. Who do you think you are to say I'm not allowed to? William, I'm telling you, I endured it before because I loved you. Now, I don't love you anymore. I didn't want to argue with him about Vivian anymore. Anyway, he would always say I was overthinking. I didn't want to talk about what he did wrong either because he would just prevaricate me and say he would change next time. He can't change. I've given William countless chances already. No, how can you? William suddenly lost control. He shouted with red eyes, and tears were about to fall at any moment. He suddenly grabbed my shoulders on both sides and looked at me in disbelief. "You're joking, right?" I frowned and looked at him coldly, saying, "You're hurting me, William." William suddenly let go, standing there like a frightened puppy, looking completely stunned. I walked past him and pulled the suitcase out. William chased after me and shouted my name behind me. "You said you would love me for a lifetime. Doesn't that count anymore? You also said you would get engaged to me, but you went to accompany Vivian to meet her parents instead." The elevator arrived, and I left with a blank expression. William didn't chase after me again. My best friend was waiting for me downstairs. She put the suitcase in the trunk, and I got into her Porsche. As the car drove out of the community, I didn't look back even once. There was soothing music playing in my best friend's car. I looked out the window and couldn't help but shed tears. It wasn't because of the breakup, but because I was finally free. After being PUAED by William for so many years without realizing it, I can finally have my own new life openly. I resigned from my original job, and my best friend took a week off to accompany me. After having a relationship with William for so many years, it's impossible to have no feelings at all after breaking up. I can't really tell how I feel now. There is both the relief of being free and the sadness of breaking up. My best friend ordered a lot of delicious food, all kinds of Sichuan cuisine that I love the most. After being with William, I even ordered tomato soup when going out for hot pot. William disliked the pungent smell of spices and said that if I insisted on having a double flavor hot pot, he would have to order another pot for himself. After being together for so many years, I couldn't even freely choose a double flavor hot pot. My best friend brought a few bottles of beer and told me to eat and drink to my heart's content. We watched movies on the home theater while eating. Suddenly, my best friend's expression changed when she was scrolling through her phone. "Damn it, this William is so shameless. As soon as you left, he went to find Vivian. What's with this act of pretending to be affectionate? I didn't even want to look. Now I don't care about William anymore. It doesn't matter to me if he goes to get the marriage certificate with Vivian directly now." Seeing that I didn't react, my best friend didn't dare to continue either and quickly changed the topic. "What about your job? You can't possibly go back to your old workplace, right? It's too close to William's company. Several headhunters have come to me these days." "Don't worry." Thinking of my previous job, I felt a bit regretful. Originally, I was going to work in Jinghai with my best friend. The treatment there is better, and the development prospects are brighter. For William, I stayed in this small city and found a job with mediocre treatment near his company. After living together, William took everything for granted. I had to pay for the rent, water, electricity, and gas bills. He said he didn't cook, so he shouldn't have to pay for the gas. But did he ever think about who cooked the hot meals he could eat every time he came home? So as soon as I resigned from my previous job, several headhunters came to poach me. I made an appointment with one of the companies I was most interested in, and I passed the first round of interviews quickly. There were 3 people in total who entered the second round of interviews. The HR told me that the general manager would conduct the interview in person. If I passed the second interview, I could sign the contract directly and start working the next day. I had great confidence in myself. After all, I have a relatively high education background and work experience. I was the last one to be interviewed. The person before me came out with a smile on their face, and I thought I didn't have a chance. As soon as I entered the conference room, I was too surprised to speak. "This isn't Henry, is it?" Henry was also surprised to see me and quickly stood up to greet me. "Senior, why is it you?" The HR department didn't tell me. After we sat down, Henry directly poured me a cup of tea. He completely lost his previous bossy look and was more like a cute puppy. "Don't you look at the resumes when recruiting people?" I joked with a smile. "This is all handled by the HR department. They said there were 3 suitable candidates and asked me to interview them in person. Look, I just woke up from my nap and was called up for the interview. I'm so pitiful." As he said that, Henry raised his foot, and I realized that he was wearing a suit on the upper body, but still had slippers on his feet. I couldn't help but laugh and said he was still as funny as ever. I don't want to ask anything else. It's you, Senior. I believe in you. Henry, you can't just hire people based on personal relationships. What if I'm really not as good as those two candidates? How could that be? Your education level is higher than theirs. That alone is enough. Besides, you were so outstanding in the student union back then, and I saw it all. I think you are fully qualified for the position of general assistant. I felt relieved. Henry asked me to go to the HR department to sign the contract. Is a new life about to begin? I walked out of the conference room with a smile. Henry is a junior I met in college, but we were not in the same department. Except for working together during large school activities, we did our own things at other times. After graduating for so many years, I didn't expect Henry to still remember me. I didn't tell anyone that Henry was an acquaintance of mine and just did my job dutifully. Henry has completely changed at work. He is very strict with his requirements and always keeps a straight face. Last month, he even made the new intern girl cry. He couldn't bring himself to comfort her, so he bought milk tea for the whole company. This made the intern the target of teasing, and they said that next time she was scolded, she shouldn't hold it in and must cry, so that the general manager would buy small cakes for everyone. It's completely different from my previous company. The atmosphere in the office is very good. Everyone is young, and no one bullies the younger colleagues because of their seniority. They also didn't make things difficult for me, the new general assistant. Thinking back to my previous company, because I communicated with the general manager several times about work, they spread malicious rumors about me. When I went home and told William, he didn't stand up for me. Instead, he blamed me. Can't you reflect on what you did wrong? Why did they only spread rumors about you? It was really the victim blaming theory. At that time I was actually PUA'd to the point of self-consuming and didn't dare to look people in the eye at the company. After leaving William, I devoted myself to work. One day, Henry asked me to accompany him on a business trip to the Hainan branch office. 2 other colleagues were also going. I readily agreed. A business trip is the best way to show the coordination ability of a general assistant, and I have to perform well. Henry had set aside plenty of time, and we arrived in Sanya a day early. I had never been to the seaside before and felt rather at a loss. Just got off the plane. Have a good rest. You'll have a lot to do tomorrow. Henry handed me an open coconut. The coconut juice gave off a sweet and fragrant smell. I took a sip, and the taste was sweet but not greasy. I'm not sure if it was due to the problem of acclimatization or something else, but I had diarrhea that night. I had no choice but to hand over my work to my colleagues for help, and Henry accompanied me to the hospital. The doctor said that I had eaten too much cold food and spicy food at the same time, and my stomach couldn't stand the combination of cold and heat. It's really rare for Senior to run into such a problem, Henry said. I'm not a superhero, I smiled bitterly. And stop calling me Senior. Just call me by my name. After thinking for a while, Henry tentatively asked if he could call me Emma. I nodded. After all, everyone in the company called me that, and even the new interns addressed me as Emma. While I was getting an IV drip, my phone suddenly rang. It was an unfamiliar number. I thought it was a promotional text message, so I hung up. But the call came in again. I had a bad feeling and decided to answer it. I'm in Sanya right now. I lost my ID card and I'll have to sleep on the streets tonight. I didn't believe William's words at all. Besides, how did he know I was in Sanya? Don't you believe me? It's true. I just came out of the XXX Hot Pot restaurant, and then I lost my ID card. That was the hot pot restaurant I had just eaten at. Was this guy following me? Can't you get it reissued? There's nothing I can do about it even if you come to me. The police station is already closed for the day. I had no other choice but to come to you, Mima. Please help me. I sighed. After all, we had been in a relationship for 7 years, and I couldn't just leave William to sleep on the streets. There were only a few drops of the medicine left in the IV bag. I stopped the drip, asked William for his address, and was about to rush over. Without a word, Henry drove me there. The car stopped in front of the hot pot restaurant. William thought I had taken a taxi and rushed over to hug me. I pushed him away with force and frowned, looking embarrassed. At this moment, Henry also got out of the car. He looked at the two of us, as if deep in thought. But William was the first to speak up. "Ma, who is he?" "I'm Emma's boyfriend." "And you are?" Henry's answer shocked me, and William looked even more incredulous. At this moment, Vivian suddenly appeared from nowhere, carrying a bag of toiletries in her hand. "Ma, what's going on here? Brother William has been looking for you for so long. It's bad enough that you've been avoiding him, but now you have a new lover. You're really letting him down." Before William could scold me, Vivian couldn't hold back anymore. I looked at her coldly. She was clearly proud of herself but pretending to be innocent. This isn't true, is it? You deliberately found someone to act, right?" "Sir, I don't care what your relationship with Emma was before. Now she's my girlfriend, so show some respect." Vivian couldn't sit still and said to Henry in a sarcastic tone, "Brother William has sacrificed so much for Emma. What do you, an outsider, know?" Not content with just that, Vivian turned around and tried to please William, grabbing his hand. "Brother William, see what I told you. Woo is so scheming. She doesn't care about you at all. You've been so good to her, but she doesn't know how to be grateful. She's so heartless." William fiercely shook off Vivian's hand and shouted at her, "Shut up." This was the first time I had seen William like this. In the past, he would never have been willing to yell at Vivian. He used to cherish her like the apple of his eye while treating me like dirt. Vivian was clearly frightened. She stood there dumbfounded, and tears welled up in her eyes. Henry promptly pulled me into his arms and looked at me with his chin raised. "This is my boyfriend," I said, looking at William with a very determined look in my eyes. William was like being struck by lightning. His eyes turned red, and he looked at Henry through gritted teeth. When he looked at me, his eyes were filled with reluctance. Henry took me back to the car. I really didn't care about William's fate anymore and went straight back to the hotel. "If you mind what I did just now, I apologize to you," Henry said. I quickly shook my head. Not only did I not mind, but Henry had actually helped me a great deal just now. If he hadn't stepped in, I didn't know what William would have done to me. Henry sighed. "Was that William just now? I thought you two were a good match in college. If he came here to get back together with you, why did he bring another woman and have such a foul mouth? It's like he ate shit." I was amused by Henry's words, and my heart was no longer in a mess. That night, I took the medicine and had a good rest. The next day, I went to communicate with the people from the head office. I was busy with work and blocked all of William's contact information, including that strange number from last night. After I got back, I also devoted myself to my work. Perhaps the blow that day was too great, and William seemed to have disappeared from my world. I had been delayed by William for too long before. Now my only goal was to work hard and earn money. Henry had always thought highly of me. After my excellent performance in the branch office, he began to let me make some decisions. I knew that Henry would be promoted to the board of directors in the future, and he intended to train me to be the next department manager. Therefore, I worked very hard and often worked overtime until late at night. Finally, I got a short vacation. I thought it had been a long time since I last went home to visit my parents. I called my mom and told her not to buy groceries tonight, because I would buy some and cook at home. Unexpectedly, when I got home and pushed open the door, I saw William and his parents sitting in the living room. "Mom is back. William, go and help Emma with her things." William's mom greeted me with a smile and told William to come and carry my things. William's obsequious behavior made me feel a bit disgusted. Why hadn't I seen him like this before? I frowned and didn't hand the things in my hand to William. Instead, I walked past him and went straight into the kitchen. Mom, what's going on? My mom looked a bit embarrassed and whispered in my ear. They insisted on coming over, and I didn't have the heart to just send them away. Your dad hasn't come home yet. William knew that my mom had a soft heart, and I took after my mom in that regard. But now I had changed. I could be soft-hearted towards anyone, except William. Uncle and Aunt, you've come all this way. You must be tired. But William and I have already broken up, I said. William's mom was very shocked and quickly came up to hold my hand. What are you saying? You and William have been together for so many years. How can you break up just like that? It's normal for couples to have some small conflicts. His dad and I also quarrel all the time, but we're still doing fine. If there are any conflicts, now that we parents are all here, you two should talk it out and live a good life together in the future. I really wanted to laugh. Was this something that could be simply talked out? Did William's mom know that William had a so-called good sister Vivian? William suddenly knelt down with a thud, and both my mom and I were taken aback. He was in tears, almost as if he was going to cat out to me. Ma, I really know I was wrong. Can't we talk things out properly? I can't live without you. A home without you is not a home at all. Ma, please come back. I looked down at him coldly and said, okay, then swear to me that you will never contact Vivian for the rest of your life, and I'll consider it. William suddenly fell silent. That momentary silence was enough to break my heart. After all, he couldn't let go of Vivian. Since he couldn't let go of his first love, why did he have to mess with me? It was his fault for being so greedy. My mom couldn't bear to watch and told William to get up. William was really the kind of person who would take advantage of any leniency. He shouted like a spoiled child, I won't get up. Unless Emma forgives me. If you want to kneel, go and kneel at the entrance of the community. Don't ruin our family's meal. I roared and pushed him out while shouting. Are you not going out? If you don't go out, I'll cut myself with a knife. Get out now. William's parents rushed over to stop me. I picked up a fruit knife and put it on my own hand. Was William the only one allowed to go crazy? I could go crazy too. Finally, I managed to dart everyone out of my house, and I let out a sigh of relief. When I turned around, I saw my mom looking at me worriedly. I immediately put down the fruit knife. Mom, I'm fine. I was just trying to discuss them on purpose. William was going crazy in our house. If we didn't drive him out, how could our family have a meal in peace? My mom let out a sigh of relief. I started massaging her shoulders and acting sick at this lie. Mom, I bought crucian carp. I want to have crucian carp soup tonight. My mom finally smiled gently and agreed repeatedly. While my mom was cooking in the kitchen and I was helping her, suddenly a call came in. It was from my dad. He had forgotten to bring the house key and asked me to open the door for him. What's William doing then? He's kneeling downstairs. It scared me. I took a detour and came in through the back door. I smiled and shook my head, saying that we should just ignore him. The most important thing was for our family to have a good meal together. I walked to the balcony and looked down. Sure enough, William was kneeling there. Who cared? He was just someone indulging in self-pity. When I didn't need his explanations, his words were so feeble and meaningless. I had stopped caring about him a long time ago. Just as the meal was ready, I received a call. Senior, you've been working so hard recently. I want to treat you to a meal as a reward. Where are you now? Looking at the table filled with a great variety of dishes, I smiled and said to the person on the other end of the phone, come to my place. Today, you can have a taste of your senior's cooking skills first.